Hi everyone, and welcome to Sit in It for a Bit with your hosts.
Arne and Carlos.
Arne's laughing at me because I was doing a little bit of warming up my jaw,
I told you they were locked or something.
No. I was just warming up my jaw so that
That happens sometimes.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, I have some issues here, but that's life. Anyway, welcome to Sit in It for a Bit, our weekly podcast where we recap our life and where we talk about all the things that we're doing here in terms of our artistic
Or
endeavors.
all the things we thought we should have done
That too, of course.
since last time.
Yeah. Right now we are in a very creative kind of mode because we're very inspired by the Barbie movie. And you may or may not know this. If you've followed us for a while, you will know that we come originally from the fashion industry, and then we decided to leave that to write patterns. But when we worked in fashion, we did a lot of shaping, a lot of draping on little dolls.
Yeah.
And we made a lot of miniatures. And if we liked what we saw, we created grown-up garments out of it. So in a way, this Barbie movie has inspired us to go a little bit back to our roots, hasn't it?
I'm looking for some of those prototypes, but I have to organize them.
Yeah.
If I find them, there's so much stuff around.
And as you know, if you've been with us for a while, you will also know that for a few months now, we have been conducting an excavation in Arne's studio. And we have been uncovering a lot of things that have been layered throughout the years.
Actually, I moved a lot of things out of the studio that I'm using, and it's going on into another house that will be the studio in the future. And then when you move things from one house to the other, like I had this new year resolution I should clean up. So maybe that's what happened when I started to move things from this house to the other one. I started to go through things and I find stuff.
So we've been uncovering a lot of fun things that we have been showing here on Sit in It for a Bit, things that we've done in the past. The studio is pretty tidy now, so we haven't uncovered that much for this week.
No.
But we do have a lot of other things going. Sit in It for a Bit is not necessarily all about knitting. And lately we have been talking about sewing. We've been talking about sewing patterns for dolls. And we have been showing old pieces that we have designed and made, whether they were embroidered, knitted, crocheted. We go through a lot of the fiber arts here in this house, and people do enjoy the versatility that they find here on our channel. So if you're looking for knitting, you will find some knitting, of course, but you will also find other things that maybe do not interest you, but maybe we can awaken a little spark.
I thought everybody did everything.
Well, I don't know. Some people do, some people don't. But if we can inspire people and awaken a little spark, that's nice.
If you suddenly feel for making doll clothes, or maybe you feel for crochet, that is good if it can inspire you.
Yeah, it's very good
because there's a lot of inspiration here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We usually start with a recap on our life and what's been going on here recently. We've had an interesting week.
This has been a very interesting week.
To start with, weather sucks big time. We are indoors and it's been raining heavily, and all the pumps and all the things that are installed in our basement are going bananas now because there's a lot of water coming in.
Because we're next to the lake, so when the water in the lake rises, the water in the ground rises, and then we get water in the
basement gets flooded. Yeah,
and we don't worry about it because when we came here, there was a post, like a little note on the wall. It said water will rise every spring and with heavy rain, and that is like I guess it was 100-year-old.
Yeah, the house is 100 years old.
So
we've had people here assessing this and checking this every couple of years. There's no mold. The water comes in and then it goes out again. The basement is actually set up for that, and there's nothing we can do really. But it's not a problem as long as there's no mold, there's no damage.
I think maybe we can try to remove it or like fill it up with something. I have no clue.
Yeah, we don't know what we're going to do about that. We are doing a lot of renovation and repairs here in our house, so we might think of a solution for that. Anyway, the pumps are going because there's a couple of pumps. So when the water comes in, the pumps they
They take it
the
out.
water out again. So it's not like we have water in there.
And now it works like crazy because it's been so much rain. I was upstairs in the workroom and I was just sitting there I don't remember what I was doing, and suddenly I heard a splash on the window. It was like someone were out there with a bucket of water. So I just almost jumped off the chair because I felt it was coming through the window.
Yeah.
That's how heavy the rain is.
Yeah, we hear it on the windows. It's a little bit better now.
It's calming down now. I can even see the trees.
They're predicting the weather will be much better in the weekend. Obviously, June was a fantastic month. So warm. July has been quite bad in terms of weather. Lots of rain. And it's typical because July is the month when all Norwegians go on holiday, except us. And now that July is almost over, the weather will be improving this weekend, so it's kind of like a ha-ha to everybody that took a holiday.
Every year,
I've given you crappy weather, and now that you go back to work, look at the wonderful weather I'm going to give you guys.
Yeah. But in the news, they said that July was the warmest month ever
in the world,
measured since they started taking those measurements.
But not here.
But not in Norway. This is in the south of Europe. It's burning now in Greece and everywhere. So
it's terrible.
While we are freezing.
We're not freezing. We're not freezing. It's just raining.
I think it's quite chilly actually in the evenings. Actually, we sat outside, had dinner outside yesterday. It was pouring down, but it wasn't that cold.
Look, I've got horns, Arne. Yeah. Isn't that fun? There's a little creature behind me.
You have horns today.
And it's got horns. And I didn't notice that until now. I look like a reindeer. Hey, moose, moose, Freya, moose, moose.
Where's Freya?
Oh, I don't know. She's somewhere sulking. She's been in a bad mood today.
Yeah, and we've been very busy this last week because we had my family over for dinner and cake.
No, not dinner. It was a lunch.
No, lunch.
Yeah, we've been celebrating.
It felt like a dinner. We had so much food.
Well, we've been celebrating Arne's 60th birthday in. Oh, sorry, I said it. We've been sorry. I'll rephrase that. Yeah. We've been celebrating Arne's birthday for a long time, and this weekend it was time to get the family together. Yeah. And with family we mean siblings and their children. So the grandkids and the kids.
And we were
or the siblings and the kids. So their grandkids.
We were supposed to be
19?
No, first it was 15, and then I ordered 2 cakes, and it was 2 cakes, and they were both for 16 people.
So Arne, okay, no. Arne went. You're trying to no.
No, and then we got a message. There were 4 more coming.
No, that's
not
the story.
Then I needed more cake.
The story, no, you don't have to. That's not the excuse.
Oh. Okay, I like cake.
We had 15 people coming.
Yeah, and that's what I said.
And
15.
Arne ordered, and I told Arne, you're going to be responsible for the desserts,
and I ordered 2 cakes,
and I'll do the cooking. And I knew that Arne was going to order something, so Arne ordered 2 cakes and secretly plotted behind my back to get 2 more.
No, that came later. No. That came later because the cake was made for 16, so we had 1 cake extra. And then I got a message. There were 4 people more coming.
Liar, liar,
and that's when I ordered. That's when I just bought 2 more cakes.
You told me.
How much cake did you have?
So for 48 people.
48 people.
You told me before that happened. You told me that you were going to order more just to be on the safe side.
Exactly.
So so long story short, we ended up with 48 slices of cake for 19 people. Right? Which I said to Arne, that's way too much.
And then people came. And then there were first we heard was that there was one she couldn't. No, first we got an SMS
from our nephew.
He and
his girlfriend and their 2 kids. They
couldn't
canceled.
come, so you can take the 4 away from the 16 cake, the 16 pieces. Yeah. And then another one was sick.
Yeah, so a nephew's wife was sick. She couldn't come.
And then a niece, her husband, he was sick. So suddenly, how many did we end up?
So we ended up losing 6 people, and we were 13. So we are 13 people. And we have 48 slices of cake. And the result was that yesterday, Arne and I had to go to the electronics store and buy a freezer to put everything. Because not only that, but yeah.
But strangely enough, we don't have much cake to put in that freezer now because we ate a lot of it yesterday and we have been eating cake today.
And,
But then we have another problem because you went out and you bought
okay, so now it's my turn.
Sausages.
Okay, now it's my turn. So Arne,
You had sausages for the grill. You had sausage for like boiling for the boil. You could boil in the water. How much sausage did you buy?
Okay, so I was saying that Arne was naughty.
Oh, this is horrible, and we still have the sausage.
Yeah.
Have you put it in the fridge?
No, in the new freezer. No, there's nothing in the new freezer.
You have to go with the sausage. Put it in the freezer.
I bought 70. I bought 70 sausages.
That's like 10 per person.
No. But I'd rather.
5.
I mean, usually the kids, they'll eat half a sausage each, and the adults, if they eat a lot, they'll have like 2 or 3 on average, and then those that eat a lot, maybe they can have 4.
This is so funny.
So yes.
And my niece told me yesterday. She had a party for her. Was it a 2-year-old or no 4?
Yeah, she calculated 4 sausages per kid.
Sausages per kid, and most of them ate half one
because they were only 2 years old.
2 years old. So this is how many you can eat 4?
Yeah.
So she couldn't eat 4.
No.
But the kids.
So anyway, this is what we do in our country. We tend to we don't overeat.
No, we just.
But we make sure we have enough food because we don't want to run out.
Have more.
It's better to have too much than too little. Anyway, the immediate consequence was because we have a little free.
Why are you playing with the doll?
I'm doing her hair.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, yeah.
Finish your sentence.
So
it's just so disturbing.
Yeah, I'm playing with Barbie's or Blythe's hair. No, what was I going to say?
The sausage.
Oh yeah.
We have always too much food.
Yeah. So the immediate consequence was we needed to buy a freezer because we have one of those refrigerators / freezers with a very small freezer because for us, really, the freezer has ice for cocktails and ice cream for Arne.
And ice because the door is not good, so
and sometimes
it produce ice.
And when we pick berries, which by the way we do need to go and check.
I have to check the cloudberries.
When we pick cloudberries, we store them there. But now we're realizing how practical it is to have a freezer because you can freeze a lot of things. So we kept saying to each other, when we renovate our kitchen, which we will be doing this year, when we renovate our kitchen, let's put a freezer in the garage. So we had to speed up that plan. And now we have a freezer in the garage.
And it's good, like if the car who sells fish,
the fish car,
the fish car is coming, then we have more space because I have black belt in shopping when the fish car comes. Show the doll.
I just did her hair
and change her eyes again. Which color is it? She needs something new. Wait. Green eyes.
Yeah.
Pink for that dress. Let's go with this.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the dress we showed last time on the Barbie because the plan was not to put lining in it, and I did, and it was too tight. And I said maybe it will fit the Blight doll, and it did.
Yeah, it did. Well, it's a little. It does need to be sewn in.
Yeah, a little bit in over the chest, but and then the length is wrong. But it works. It works on the Blight doll.
So this is one of the dresses that we designed back not for our own fashion brand. We wouldn't have done evening gowns for when we were in the fashion industry. But this is just like on the side. And as Arne just mentioned, originally he wasn't gonna line the dress, so it fitted perfectly. But obviously, when the dress is a perfect fit without a lining, and you put a lining on. It is going to become smaller. It's
and
just
I don't like
fact.
to have those raw edges, like what you say, it sheds.
And we were reading the comments. A lot of you guys were trying to be helpful to tell us how to do it. But as I said, we weren't planning on lining the dresses originally. And when you put a lining on a dress that already fits well, It happens. So,
but we know how to
but
line
yeah,
it
we know how to line
if
a
we
dress.
plan it.
If
But
we
this was
plan
not
it.
planned. But I could show you this book because this is a book I got from my mother when I was little. I found it up in the attic. It's called The Gylne Snitt in Norwegian. I don't know what that is.
The
And
golden snit is
point,
cut.
And this book, my mother used this book when she made clothes for herself. So I find some nice pictures. So this is, the book has a lot of these pictures, and then in the back there are the patterns like this. And many years ago, we used this book and we put it in the
Computer?
No, the scan.
Yeah, scan it.
We
Scanner.
scanned this and then we enlarged it. I think we went up.
A couple of.
I don't remember right now. We have to try it again.
Maybe like
75%
Yeah.
or something. And then we made them so big that they actually fit the Barbie. And we made a whole box of garments for one of our nieces as a Christmas gift many years ago.
Yeah.
I wonder if she still have those.
I'm sure she does.
Because and that was a lot of, we had trousers, we had some of the dresses, and I think all the dresses were lined, and also coats with lining. So
It's unbelievable though what people could do back in the day. I mean,
yeah, this is the ruler. There was another ruler which we don't have anymore, but this is for curves if you want to make like curves for the sleeves or anything.
or perhaps it was the tailor who had this and made.
No,
I mean, I know your mom did, but it could have been a tailor maybe.
No, this was for everybody.
People.
People who wanted to make their own clothes, they just got this book and they, based on the small patterns in the back, you could make clothes for you.
It's amazing, and they even show how to measure.
Yeah, it's a really nice book.
Yeah, it is. It's a great book.
This was the inspiration for me.
And
This is the ruler.
they show how to read the pattern as well.
And this is how you use. There was a ruler with the book, and this one shows how you use it because there was a small thing you put on a ruler, and then you calculate it from that.
Yeah,
It's very cool.
it's really nice.
But since last time, we also worked on the fashion doll.
Yeah, because we've been very inspired by the Barbie
inspired.
movies. Very inspiring. So
So we started to do this dress for the fashion doll. It's silk, and we found out that use organza as a lining is really good. But the problem is that this fabric shed, and
quite a lot.
A lot. So we lost a lot of the seam allowance. So now it's kind of it fits exactly right now, and I think that like when we used the sewing machine and we put things inside out and stuff.
Yeah.
It sheds so easily.
Yeah, you can
and
see
you also
here.
lose a little bit of feeling of the seam allowance because this is 0.5 centimeter seam allowance, and when you do the curves, it's really hard to see.
Why don't we just stitch it by hand all the way around?
Yeah, maybe we should.
I know
for
it's
some pieces.
I know it's a very tedious thing to do, but if we hand stitch all the edges, it would be kind of like an overlock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We overlock it, but by hand.
Especially the pieces on the side
And I
of
mean-
the skirt because I lost a lot of the seam allowance.
And they're not big, so I could stitch around this in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, because now we cut a new one, and now we're gonna try to make it by hand. And this is really, it's so relaxing.
To work miniatures.
And when you do it by hand, you get it more precise because you can't or zigzag this on the sewing machine. I tried, and it disappears.
No. I think we have to
So
do it
you
by hand.
you have to do it by hand, and you know what? If you do it by hand and you just press it with your fingers like this, you get that haute couture feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's rounder.
You round
and it's
everything,
not flatten out. So now I'm going to try to make another one, and I'm going to sew it by hand, and have to be very careful so I don't lose more of the. You see on this side, it starts to shed again.
Haute couture is very interesting because it's all flat. They make everything flat, each panel, and then it's so interesting to see when when they start putting it together, the garment, how it becomes 3D, and how everything becomes so round. Everything's
Yeah, we work
handmade.
flat now.
Yeah.
You could also they
Yeah.
also drape things on the dummy, but
No, we do that first.
for the doll now we do it flat.
We drape on the dummy. We create
Yeah,
the paper
we do both.
pattern.
Yeah.
Then we cut, and now we're going to be doing a lot of handwork on these to get them to look really, really sharp. And then so it's got to be flat, and then once we sew it together and we get it up in 3D,
We have to be
we
very
have to
careful.
round everything and make everything very beautiful.
But this is a very fun hobby.
Yeah, and you know what? Even if it's for a doll and she won't care, we care about
But
the
it's,
craftsmanship. It's important, isn't
Just
it?
that feeling of working with the fabric and actually making it.
Yeah.
It's like you feel when it gets beautiful, it's a reward.
Yes.
So I like that feeling.
And
It's not necessary to have these doll clothes, but it is a very zen thing.
Yeah, it's zen, it's relaxing, and it's beautiful. We love the fact that these pieces will be well made. We love things that are well made. It's very well made. That's music in our ears. It's very important.
And then we have a lot of these old fabrics from the time in the fashion industry with a lot of sequins, and we're going to reuse the sequins because then we can actually decorate the dress even more. So when this is finished, we'll not finish the hem. We will have it open in the beginning, so we can actually put on decorations.
Yeah.
And I found a special seam on the sewing machine that we can use on the hem that doesn't eat everything.
That's very good.
But you can't use it on 1/2 centimeter seam allowance because the seam allowance disappears and you lose
again
volume.
Just have to do it by hand.
So everything can be done
Who
by hand.
needs a sewing machine? Let's just do it all by hand.
I think I also
Little
found
seams,
because I found this cool tablecloth from the thrift shop. And I'm going to make a dress in that also. It has the blue embroideries. And I'm going to cut it and I'm going to bring that with me when we go on the next knitting cruise so I can do some sewing in between the knitting.
I really agree about the organza underneath.
Yeah, the organza is fabulous.
It really gives it that support, and the drape is really nice.
And when we use the silk is more.
Well, this is
it's moving more. The organza is so much better.
But
thinner.
I am pretty sure this is silk organza.
Yeah, but it's not this.
No, but it's silk.
The silk lining.
Yeah.
The silk lining.
So when we worked at the palace with the Crown Princess of Norway and made suits for her, we would always line them in silk organza. I love lining.
Yeah.
With silk organza see-through, and the organza has this it's got this strength to it. It's got this shape to it. So when you make a jacket and you line it in silk organza, it really keeps. It's just such a beautiful thing to do.
And you see the organza doesn't shed as
the organza is
as
great.
much as the silk. So this one has sheds also, a little, not much, but. It was worse in the back because there was a straight seam, maybe. I don't know. So that's I think that's a new hobby.
Yeah, I think even for our brand, Arne, when we did jackets, we would line them also in organza. I think
we had some,
some lined in organza.
I remember we had some in a very, that special fabric that was organic cotton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which was very kind of a little bit loose.
Yeah.
And we lined it in red organza. It was off-white or beige, and then we had red organza. And I also remember, like, on the collars and the sleeves, we had a lot of layers of organza. You remember?
Yes.
The lining was just
It was in
lying
2006.
under. We have those pieces. I've been organizing these old prototypes. I think I have 17 boxes now, and
of archives.
And my plan, and some of those garments are in that box. And I've been thinking, like, I should not bring so much plastic into the house because I don't like it that much because it's too much of it. But these boxes for archives, I don't know what else I can use.
No, who knows?
So there's so many boxes now.
Yeah.
Because if there's something you can see in the studio, it will be in old suitcases, because that is beautiful. And
Yeah, but sometimes you need the transparent box so you can see
yes, you can
what's
see
in
what
it.
you have, but oh my God, how much it will be.
Yeah. So
we have to put it in a separate room. I don't want to look at it.
So let's get back to the doll for a little bit. So as you know, we're doing our shorts, the Arne and Carlos shorts on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And we have a fixed schedule that we have Pajama Gardeners on Mondays and on Thursdays. We've got Learn to Knit in 60 Seconds on Tuesdays. We've got Learn to Crochet in 60 Seconds on Saturdays. And then we're doing shenanigans, all sorts of things on Friday. Mm. But now it looks like the shenanigans on Friday are going to be turning into how to make Barbie or doll's clothes in 60 seconds.
Yeah,
so we are
maybe 3 Fridays, I see.
Yeah, or maybe even more, in the future.
It will be more, but for the dress, maybe 3.
Yeah, so stay tuned for Friday's episode or YouTube short, as we are going to show how to create the base that you then can use for everything. Mm. And the base that we've done for the doll is pretty much the top. Yeah. And then you can extend that, you can make it a skirt, you can put sleeves on it, you can change the volume from the waist, you can change the volume from the bust, you can do everything. Anyway, we're showing how to create the base in 60 seconds, so stay tuned, it's going to be fun. Mm. And we may do some episodes on sewing in our YouTube channel for later this year.
But that will be a fabric that is easier to cut, or kind of the fabric that doesn't shed, because there is a cow. There are 2 cows.
Oh.
There are many
4 cows.
4
and some calves.
Should we turn it so people can see? Maybe.
No.
No, you can't see them.
You can't see them.
No.
Anyway, we've got cows outside our house.
There's many cows.
Yeah. They tend to roam free here in Norway.
What were we talking about?
About the doll.
Oh yeah, because for this fabric, I will make it by hand, and I actually started to film for a short to show how we sew this together, but then I started to lose the seam allowance. Yeah. So that will be for another dress.
Yeah.
That will be for the one in cotton or something.
So this is not, what she's wearing is not the dress, because this is just a sample. A muslin, but in silk.
So this will be
that's the real dress. So
handmade by
sometimes when you're doing these things, you have to make one and then another one and then another one until they're properly done. And yeah, I'll help you, Arne. I'll take a needle and thread and I'll sew the whole thing by hand and get those.
But I think it's so relaxing. It's like
it is.
You can actually control those 50 millimeter. No, it's a half centimeter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can control anything.
It's so easy to control it when you actually see it in front of you, and you get this nice finish.
Yeah, so this is very enjoyable, and we are doing a cruise. We're going on top of the world. Later on this year, we're going from Oslo to Svalbard, and then from Svalbard on a tiny ship, we're going to Jan Mayen, and then we're going to Northern Iceland, the Faroe Islands, and Shetland. And this is a trip that we're doing. There's a lot of people there that we know that we have cruised with before, and there's two good friends of ours who are bringing their dolls.
Yeah,
and
you have to bring them some.
And Lisa found one. Yeah, Lisa found one of these.
Yeah. So if you see this, Lisa, we should bring the pattern, and we can sew the dress by hand. Yeah, that could be cool.
So it's a knitting cruise, but there will be some doll making as well.
You can't knit the whole day. You can
and I mean
change a bit.
We're there for 16 nights or 15 or whatever it is. So we need to do activities, and why not make some dolls' clothing as well while we're on the road.
We can do whatever we like.
We can do whatever we like. It's our cruise.
Last time there was a lady who did a very interesting patchwork.
Yeah, this African.
The one with.
What's it called again? Kanda, I think.
Very nice. Some of you might know what I'm talking about, or maybe you watch it.
My brain's blank. I wrote it down.
We got a sample. It's very nice.
It's beautiful. It's just
squares, and you go up and down like this.
We will look into it, and we will probably show it one day. It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
there's a
that-
lot. I think it's kanta, maybe
I have
kanta
no clue.
embroidery or something. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, we're happy doing this, creating the bases. There's also a pant that
The
we
pant
shown.
is finished. No, we haven't shown it. Have we shown? We have shown it, but
We have shown
we
it
haven't
in
shown
progress.
the reels. How we
No,
make
no, no. But we've shown it on Sit in It.
Yeah.
There's a pant coming that we've also made a base for. And actually, pretty much, you need a good pant base. You need a good top base. And once
Yeah.
you have those two,
You can
you
do
can do
anything.
anything. Just using those two bases, pretty much.
And we haven't done sleeves yet. I think we will do a few dresses now with no sleeve,
Yeah.
and maybe we drape the sleeve or do
But
the construction.
I am envisioning a puff sleeve.
Need big puff sleeve,
I am envisioning a
like up here.
fitted, yeah, well, I don't know about that, but I'm envisioning a fitted blouse with a waist, and then I'm envisioning beautiful puff sleeves.
And a big bow.
Oh, yeah.
But what I like with this basic dress is that you can actually add things. You can do the sequins, you can add a big bow, you
Yeah.
can put on lace.
There's a little ironing issue here that we need to deal with. Well,
this one.
that one will be better.
Yeah, but this will also be a bit wrinkled. I will iron this very carefully.
So,
Hardly no ironing.
since we are in the sewing department, before we go on to the knitting, I was wondering if we should talk a little bit about our paper piece.
Yeah, we're still working on the
Quilt.
paper piece quilt.
We will be working on this on our quilting cruise that we're doing with Kate in March of 2024.
Yeah, this takes forever because we use things from the thrift store.
Yeah,
So, but this week we have finished 3. So this is 1. The center is from a tablecloth with cross stitches. And don't worry, a lot of these things are made by machine, so it's
they
not
don't.
that we're just not destroying anything handmade. And the flowers around is from, what do you call that? Lommetørkle?
handkerchiefs.
Handkerchiefs. So we found that in England. It was a package of 6 different handkerchiefs, or 6 looking the same. So this was a good find for
Yeah.
the hexagon.
Yep.
And then this is from the
Yeah,
same.
and then this is from the same store. We got another set of 6 handkerchiefs, and these have a center fabric designed by us. It was our first and only collection of fabric up to date. We don't know whether we'll make a new one. I do hope we will. But it's really not up to us. It's not us who decides, so we don't know at the moment.
But what I
And yeah, they're looking pretty beautiful.
But what I like with our fabric is that we have so many, like this is from one fabric, and on that fabric you can actually make, I don't know how many, I did like 10 or how many?
I don't remember.
Many different variations. And that's what I like in the fabric, if you do quilting, is that you can actually cut out motifs and you can put them and make something.
Yeah.
Make new designs of what you already have on the fabric. Because we made another one. This is another fabric we found in the stash. And this fabric was really hard because it was just a little piece and it was really hard to find something that made a pattern. So we just cut it out. And then after we cut it out, we actually saw that we could make, there's like a bird up there and there's a bird again on this side.
Yeah.
But I didn't think about it when I cut the fabric because to me the fabric was a little bit boring. So I just cut it just to get rid of it actually.
Yeah.
And now I think it worked in the quilt.
It's
And when
pretty.
you put it together with
It works.
something like that.
Yeah.
So
But we haven't, I mean, right now we're only doing flowers, or call them flowers like this. We haven't decided whether they go,
no, we haven't, there's no plan.
we haven't decided whether they go like this or whether we're going to put a darker fabric in between to separate them. We haven't decided that yet. So that is a work in progress.
But you can't have a plan because this is all, most of these things are coming from thrift shops.
Yeah.
So it's very up to what we find in the
Correct.
thrift shop.
So
So
the
you
goal-
can't plan anything.
The goal is to make a certain number of these.
Yeah, a lot of flowers.
And then
we see-
once we make these, once we have what we think is enough, we will be able to figure out the rest.
Yeah.
So it is a work in progress, and we are just gonna see what happens and wing it for a while.
And this was quite cool because this fabric was very thin, and there was a crochet motif on each of them. So for this one, we just used 2 layers of fabric. So we cut out 2 hexagons from the same fabric because we didn't want to see through the quilt. So this is double.
Yep.
This is the same fabric, but it's single because there's no holes in this one. So this is a very fun project.
Yeah, it is quite fun.
Yeah, we just have to go to the thrift shops every now and then.
Yeah, every now and then we're going to the thrift stores.
And now some of the thrift shop finds can end up on a dress for the doll.
Our beetle is sadly in repair again, so we haven't been able to use it as much as we were anticipating this summer, which is a real bummer. The people in the garage suspect that there might be something wrong with the gas tank.
No, the pump.
Gas pump.
The pump for the benzene. Petrol.
Yes, petrol, yeah.
Petrol.
So they're looking into that now, and sadly we have not been able to.
I was calling them this morning, and they were so busy. Because it's holidays, a lot of places have holiday, and they had a lot of work, so they haven't had time to look carefully. But he thought it was the petrol pump. Hopefully, it's not too expensive.
Hopefully it will be not as expensive. We've already had a lot of very high bills this year.
This is horrible. This year,
the bills have been really bad. But you know what? Whenever you think you have it bad, there's always somebody worse off. So. This week or last weekend, we met up with some of our friends who also have old cars, and one of our friends told us that what we've paid in repairs this year is nothing. She paid the double of that last year. And she was like, at one point, you kind of, are you going to keep the car? Are you going to sell the car? Are we, and it's a choice that you make. At the moment, the choice, we don't have a choice. We have to see through it. But then, of course, there's a limit to how much we can spend. And there will be a time when we have to say, okay, do we really want to keep this moving or going or not? And if we say we don't want to spend more, it will just have to stay in the garage.
Well, that's sad.
That's very sad.
Such a nice car.
But
then on the other side, we also found a guy who has, I think he had like 14 or 17 Beetles, and he said it was very strange that things happens all the time because the engine on a Beetle is so basic that if people know what they're doing, it should be easy to fix it.
So he's going to be our new guy.
He's the go-to guy.
So we're going to fix the car, and then hopefully
it go this summer, and then in the spring we will go to this guy, and then we will ask him to go look through the whole thing. And
then hopefully we will, not have all those expenses. It's very ironic because we have the mileage on the other cars. So the idea was to leave the electric car in the garage and only drive the Beetle, but that's not happening.
No.
So we have to drive our electric car, and now we're freaking out about the mileage all the time. It's like the mileage is the only thing we talk about.
I think this is the last time we do like leasing on a car.
Oh yeah, first and last time.
Especially now, like with your parents in the south of Sweden, and suddenly we just have to go, and then the mileage just goes. So, Carlos, talk about your jackets.
Yeah.
Because that's our new. This is the project for the fall.
Yeah, I'm really warm because I have another sweater under, so I just changed my microphone. I'm going to take this jacket off. So we got this in the post the other day.
I think we talked about it last time.
Yeah.
And now it's here. So now.
But we got it in the post. Planning. This is the. You see, I'm wearing 2 sweaters today. That's how much I love doing sit in it for a bit.
Yeah, but you look so good in it.
Yeah. So we got this from Rowan. This is our a design that we did for them for magazine number 71 Joy. It's an intarsia cardigan or jacket.
Last time we only had the picture in the book.
Yeah, unisex. So. And it's got these florals. It's got these florals in these cold tones. It's got gray, blue, dark blue, light blue. And it was a summer brief we had. So the magazine, the Rowan magazine Joy, I think it was 71. I'm not quite sure, so don't quote me on that. But the brief was to do designs that, that spark joy in us, because it was kind of like the post-pandemic kind of story. And we could do color work, we could do intarsia, and we had to use the summer yarn. So this is cotton cashmere, which is really nice. It's a really nice yarn. So we came up with this beautiful floral. And then instead of doing the conventional pink, red, orange combination, we went for a cooler tone. And when you wear this, like this sleeve, it could look like, doesn't have to necessarily look like a flower. It can look like some leopard stripes or or whatever.
But the plan is now that we will, next time when we do the filming for the Sunday episodes, we will start to knit this one, and then you can follow it on Sundays and see how it goes.
Yeah.
It will take time because we have so much other things to do, but I think we will try. We have not made a lot of garments knitted in tarsia and flat. We normally knit on the round and we stick. So this will be interesting, and we will also change the yarn.
Yeah.
So that's another one. We have to check the tension. We have to see if we had to add something to the pattern to make it big enough, or it will be a fun project.
Yeah. So intarsia, if you do not know what intarsia is, we are going to tell you now. Intarsia is when you have fields of color that are inside another color. Like here, sorry, can you hold that? So here you've got a flower, and surrounded by the flower is all this white, and you're not carrying your threads from here to here. Instead, you are knitting this field here on its own, and there will be a lot of bobbins hanging with a lot of threads.
So you see on the other side.
And then the interior looks like this. The interior looks like this. So as you can see, each flower is placed, it's like it's placed inside. You're not knitting on the round. You cannot knit intarsia on the round.
It will be so thick if you have to carry those yarns around when you're not using them. So it's a very cool technique. We haven't done much of it.
Not much. But intarsia must be knitted flat, and it must be knitted back and forth. So you knit and you purl, and you knit and you purl, and you do that with the pattern,
and
the color work
ends
pattern.
to weave in.
Lots of ends to weave in, and you're working with a lot of yarns that are hanging everywhere. So it is a rather I wouldn't say difficult technique, but it is kind of complex in terms of what you need. You need your yarns, but you need actually a lot of threads hanging. You might need to wrap them around these bobbins.
The big challenge is to get nice stitches when you change color. So that will be fun to try.
It will, yeah.
And we had tried it before, but not for a big project. So
and what I like about intarsia is you can create larger designs, which are more intricate than what you can do when you do color work, where the designs would normally be smaller because you have to carry the thread all around.
And luckily we have the same tension, so we can knit on this.
We can help each other,
both of it.
And I really love as a designer, I really love designing for intarsia. I love it much more than I love knitting the intarsia.
It's fun because you can work on, like you say, bigger space.
Bigger subjects. I think you agree with me. It's more fun to design it than to knit it ourselves.
Working on that now. New designs with intarsia.
So anyway, so this is coming, and we are going to do this because it is really beautiful. But the cotton here in Norway, I mean, why do it in cotton cashmere when you can do it in Norwegian wool? And when you have more or less the same colors.
Yeah, and the tension is more or less the same also, I think.
They're both DK.
But looking at this, I think this stitches looks a little bit bigger than what we do. So we might have to go up a size. We have to see which sizes they have. So this is fun.
Yeah, and I'm open up.
And then we're going to use these two blue. And
are we going to use the?
I think we use the vanilla.
The vanilla instead of the white.
We have the white. We have to check. But I think the vanilla.
I think the vanilla is nicer. It'll give it a little bit more of a, you know? You know what I mean? It's
We
like
have
a,
to see if the gray works. And I think we have enough yarn. There's 10 balls of each. So these 3. So you see, the blue will be. We hold this one. The colors will be a bit different. So this light blue will be the strong blue. But it will be roses.
I like the idea. I like the idea of putting in a warm color with the colder gray.
We can try the white also, but I feel like
but I think this
maybe
one. I think this one will give it a little more interest.
Yeah.
It'll give it a little bit of that twist that I think can be very nice.
we can see both. So how is this? They both. You see, the white disappears a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
in the gray.
this will give it a little more interest. It will give it a pop. That might be very nice. A lot of people ask us about colors and how to put them together and what are the rules. And I'm going to give you the main rule. The rule number 1 when putting colors together, there are no rules. You do whatever you want. And if it looks weird, if you put 2 colors together and you feel they work, even though they're not supposed to work, you're onto something. So don't listen to people saying this doesn't work, because
that was like when I grew up. Everybody said you can't use pink and red together.
Oh, that's so silly.
And you see that everywhere now. There's a lot of pink and red together.
Yeah.
And that was a big no-no when I grew up.
So don't let anyone tell you that your color choices are wrong, because when it comes to color, there are no rights and no wrongs. It's all very subjective. It's what you love, number 1. And number 2, the unexpected color combinations that may not work, that work, probably work at a given time because it's in the air. There's something in the air and everybody's actually kind of going that route. It means you're in the right path.
You know, with this one we could also use if we wanted to, we could use the red and the pink from the Norwegian yarn, or the burgundy.
But I like this.
With the red.
I like this.
I think because we can
this is
keep
really
it almost like this.
This works really well, and this gives it a little bit of an interest. So that this one here is not a bad thing. It just
because I think white and we have to check it out.
Yeah.
I think it's too.
No, I vote for this because this will give it a little bit more dimension. It will give it a little bit more depth.
Yeah.
It will give it a little bit more interest. And I'm sure there's people say, oh, you can't put together this with this. But you know what?
You can do anything.
You can do anything you want. Anything you want. It'll work. We are going to make it work.
And we will make a swatch and we will see. Yeah. If it doesn't work, we have a bag of white also.
Yeah, and but we usually make it work. I mean, what you do is you make a sample, right? You make yourself a little sample and then you pin it up on the wall, and then look at it for a couple of days.
And if you think it gets boring, put some sequins on
it. Yeah, when in doubt, put sequins on
When in doubt, put sequins. What
no,
about
but really,
this blue on
But really, make yourself a swatch, pin it on the wall, and look at it. If your first thought is, oh, this looks weird, but I kind of like it, you're onto something. So don't stop. Just put it on the wall, let it hang on the wall, look at it every day, look at it in the evening, look at it in the morning, look at it in the afternoon, think about it, let it kind of mature, and eventually you will be able to decide whether this is something you want to do or not. Yeah. Would you agree?
Yeah.
That's a good way to do color?
I can't tell. I have something to tell. I guess you read the email. Because we're working on another project. We can't talk a lot about that now, but...
Which project?
No.
I don't know.
No, you will understand. It's a secret. It's a secret project. But I emailed to the lady, and she said it was very fun to work with the project, because we put colors together so differently from what other people did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because a lot of times people go very safe with their color combinations.
Safe is boring.
I've seen books where it's like mostly gray and white or black and white, and there's no pop of colors. If the pop is, if there's a pop of color, it's red maybe.
Yeah. But
So,
not even that.
no, not even, no. So it's kind of fun when she actually, that was what she was thinking when she saw the designs we made, that she found it very interesting the way we put colors together.
And if
I think that's a good compliment actually.
It's a
because
great
then you
compliment.
think a little bit out of the box, and to come up with something new, you need to do that. You can't always go the safe.
And if you look at our house, it's full of color. We had a sofa recovered, and we chose to recover it in a pink and white ikat fabric. And the upholsterer said to us it was such a fun choice, because usually when she upholsters things, you know, the Norwegians who upholster furniture, they choose safe colors. So she upholsters, she uses a lot of plain gray, plain white, and plain black, and plain beige. She says that those are the colors she works with the most. And she felt that with us, at least, she had a pop of color in her life for the days that she was working on the sofa.
And it made it more fun for her also to try something new.
And then we had the kitchen, we're getting a kitchen, and the kitchen designer that we've been working with said the same, that, you know, she gets to visit people in their homes, and in Norway usually the homes are done up in gray, beige, brown, black and white, and it was interesting and fun to come to a colorful house and also see that we choose.
It actually, it earns us some money because we get a discount, because she liked it so much that she talked about our house to
her boss,
to the boss in the company, and we get a discount if they can take some pictures.
They can shoot the new kitchen for the catalog after we style it.
So that is.
Yeah. So you see, when you're not safe, when you don't go the safe route, things happen that are great. So don't be afraid of color. Don't be afraid of color. It's not going to bite you. It's not going to kill you. Try not to be safe. Safe is boring. You don't want to be safe. Safe is really boring. You want to work with the colors that you love, right? So if you love black, white, gray, beige, go ahead, work with those. It's okay. But then think about bold things that you can do with the colors, right? And think of unconventional ways that you can put them together. Can be really fun. And you can come up with amazing things. So try to think outside the box with colors. Be bold, be brave. Don't hold back. And hang up your swatches and keep them up on the wall for a few days. Think about it. And think about if it is pleasing to your eye. And actually, that's the main thing. Whatever anybody else says really doesn't matter. No. We've designed yarns for Regia since 2014, and we put colors together. And, you know, sometimes some color combinations we love more than others. But then we realize...
But there's another thing also. Like when you work as a designer, you can't always use only the colors you like.
Correct.
Because you are actually designing for a lot of people. You're not designing for yourself. And that's one of the problems when I was working in the fashion school, being a teacher for fashion students, was that a lot of people, they only made clothes for themselves.
Yeah.
They didn't think about the big picture. It was just, I can wear it and then it's good.
But I know. But sometimes
everybody can't wear what you are wearing. So there should be something for everybody.
Yeah.
A collection is more than that.
But it's funny though, because when we do the Regia, the sock yarns, sometimes we put together colors that we know are commercial and that are going to be a success. But then it's funny to see that a more unexpected colorway that we love more becomes the bestseller, because it has happened. And that's really nice, because that's when the authenticity kind of comes out. This one here is what we stand for. This one here is, it's nice, but it's commercial. And then to see the one we love the most become the bestseller is amazing.
Talking about that, shouldn't we finish a new collection soon?
Yeah, that we should.
I think we do too much doll clothes right now.
We've got a lot of work to do and a lot of things to complete. And we're going on 2 cruises. We're doing the Svalbard Express in 2 weeks' time.
Okay. Tomorrow I'm going to sit down and I'm going to work with a new Regia collection.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of other things to finish.
No, you don't have time tomorrow, but I can start it.
What do you mean I don't have time?
You have so much other things to do.
We do, yeah. I'm always busy.
You know what I'm talking. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking.
yeah. Busy bees.
Busy, but I can do it, and then the way it works is that I start things and then I email it to Carlos,
And then I'll finish it for him. Yeah.
finish it, or he give me feedback, and then I change things, and it goes back and forth.
But we do have a lot of things to finish, and we've got some friends coming over, and then my dad's coming for a visit, and then we're going on the cruise. So
is he coming by airplane?
No, he's coming by train.
Maybe he can bring the clown.
Oh no!
My clown painting. I have a clown.
He needs
Sweden.
to get off a train and get on another,
Okay,
and he
so
only has 10
next time
minutes.
when we go,
Don't want to burden an 87-year-old man with
we
all
have to
of
go
that.
by train.
Yeah, we will.
Then we can bring it if we don't go by with the beat.
Yeah, we will. So yeah, pretty busy, and up until I think it's the 10th, up until August 10th, we are doing a Sit and Knit for a bit regularly every week. After that, we are probably going to have to take a two-week break while we are at sea, when we cannot do a big Sit and Knit for a bit. We may do like a 10-minute or a 5-minute. We'll see what we can do. But please understand that we can't do these full hour Sit and Knits for bits.
And probably do the reels, like
The reels, the shorts,
and
the
stuff.
shenanigans.
That we can do.
That we can do.
And then there will be the Sunday episodes.
Maybe the Sunday episodes and no Sit in It for a bit. So we'll see. We will let you know as we get closer to it how the schedule. It also depends where we are on Wednesdays. We may be able to do a live, which we stopped doing because most people prefer a pre-recorded one.
Yeah.
So there you go. We are endeavoring and trying our best to please everyone, which is actually very hard. But hopefully you're all pleased with us. So yeah, more content though is available because we've launched YouTube members. So if you become a member of our YouTube channel, you also get a weekly update. Every Monday morning, we are doing a weekly update. And those are shorter. Those are 10 minutes, so 10, 15 minutes. So we are quite sure that those will be done in the weeks we are at sea, probably from the ship, more than likely. So if you are a member, you will see those. And there's other things that you get as a member. Among other things, there's a live stream happening on August 1st. It starts at 6 a.m. here in Central Europe. I'm getting up at 4, meditating and trying to wake up. And we're doing this for our Australian and New Zealand and Japanese mates so that they can hang out with us.
You said? On
6 a.m. Central European
Which
summertime on August 1st.
That's soon.
That's very soon. Yeah. And 6 a.m. here is midnight in New York, and it's 9 p.m. in Los Angeles, and it's, I think, 2 o'clock in Tokyo and 3 in Sydney, if I'm not mistaken, p.m. So finally, our Australian mates and all those people that live in those time zones will be able to interact with us live. We're doing a Q&A, and we are the knitting doctors right now. So for our members, we do take questions on knitting things, and we try to answer them as best we can. So it's kind of like a Ask Arne and Carlos column or something. So that's on our YouTube channel memberships. And if you want to join, all you need to do is go to our YouTube channel and click on the join button that you find next to the subscriber button. And you can then read the different tiers. We've got 2 tiers at the moment. And you can, figure out which tier you want to join. And voila. You get more content than what we're offering now, which is actually quite a lot already. So yeah, we also have some important news to tell you. Tonight at midnight, regardless of where you are, tonight at midnight, our Christmas in July ends. Yeah. Which means that you will not be able to get the Christmas stocking that we've done. With the dumpap, which is the bullfinch, or the bird on the wire. This one and its matching, oops, I dropped it. And its matching Christmas ball that you have here, they are going to expire tonight. And it means that they're gone and you will not be able to buy them anymore. So if you have been looking at it, at the patterns, if you've been thinking about these, you need to act now and you need to get them before midnight in your place. So, that's very important. And for the people in the other side of the world, in Australia and New Zealand, it's midnight tomorrow that the offer expires. So when you wake up, you can still get it. So you're okay. Right?
Yeah.
So go to our website at arnecolors.com and download those patterns. They're on a discount and they're gone after midnight, gone. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that we have from today. I don't know because I'm not a psychic, but I think that maybe people are asking themselves or putting in the comments questions about the two little things, the two little sketches that we have behind us. So we thought we could finish by telling you what they are.
And they are French folk costumes.
Yes, they are drawn with
very nice
drawings. They're drawings with pencil, very beautifully made. They're from France, French folk costumes. We bought them in a flea market in Paris 20 odd years ago. They were on the street in a box. They're beautifully drawn. They're nice. Original and signed as well. And they're made with just a pencil. They're incredibly beautiful. And they are dated hang on, let me see what the date says.
I can't see anything.
1923. They're from 1923, so they're 100 years old.
And we have six
we have six of them, and we've got 3 on one side, and then there's 3 on the other side of our ticket counter, because we live in an old train station. This is the place where people bought tickets back in the day.
So we're in the office.
We're in the ticket office.
Ticket office.
So
yes, should we go and look for the cows?
Look at the cows or look for the cows?
See, so they don't jump over the fence and into the garden.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No.
How about some formalities?
Yeah, if you like our videos, put your thumbs up and be a subscriber. And if you're a subscriber, put on your notifications, because then you won't miss an episode. And
for more content, become a member, and you can just go to our YouTube, Arne Carlos, and find the membership site and click join.
Yep.
And you'll get loads of new content, and plus fun emojis that you can use in the chats when we do lives and here on the comments field below. Thank you so much for watching us, and we look forward to entertaining you with a brand new Sit in It for a Bit coming next week.
Yes.
Actually, my dad will be visiting us, but so that's okay.
He
might pop in and wave and say hello
or something while we talk.
He can do that, absolutely.
And then hopefully this one is finished.
Hopefully that will be finished, and hopefully we will have more fun projects to show you. So thank you so much for watching. And Arne, I had cake for lunch. And now I'm considering cake for a snack.
Let's have a cake.
Or maybe a sausage.
Why did we buy that freezer?
I don't know.
Nothing will end up in the freezer anyway, because you're going to eat it.
Anyway, guess what's for dinner?
Cake.
No, sausage. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye.